Here are 5 of the many different ways that you can accentuate the positive energies in your life. And many of these you will have heard before. But I just want to suggest to you that information is not transformation. These things work, and if you do them, they will make a difference to your life. If you just read about them or hear about them and you never do them, um, that's not going to work. So we'll try to, along the way, come up with some tips for how to make it easy for you to do these things. So the first one is an obvious one that you will have heard a million times, and that is the practice of gratitude. This practice is actually scientifically shown to increase your self-reported sense of happiness. And it's understandable why that's the case. Thoughts are incredibly powerful, and they can be filtered either through love or through fear. As they get filtered through either of those two emotions, they create feelings, a whole host of vibrations. And when you're grateful, you're taking a thought about something that appealed to you, that made you happy, that made you feel good, and you're filtering it through the love side. You're filtering it through that you're grateful for this thing being in your life. That's going to create a very particular vibration that is a very high energy. And so if you can convince yourself to establish this as a habit, you can see that by consistently putting yourself in this vibrational space that's very high, you actually help to make your life feel that much better. So I would suggest that you write 5 things each day, 5 things that you're grateful for. Try at the beginning not to repeat things so that you make yourself look for more and more diverse things. But if you have to repeat them, you have to repeat them. Sometimes it helps if you write the thing and you write why you're grateful for it. That can help you to access the feeling of it. And the tip that I want to give you is make it easy for yourself to do this. You know, get yourself a gratitude journal that you're going to write in all the time. Put a pen, clip a pen right to it so that you don't have to go looking for a pen. Keep the things together and keep them right near where you're going to use them at a time that's convenient for you. So if you're an early riser and you always sit in one particular place, and that's a good time for you to do it, make sure that that gratitude journal with that pen is right there within grasp of where you sit, so that as you're establishing the habit of it, that it's right there. If it's something you need to do at the end of the day, it's the same thing. Put it in a place where you're going to have easy access to it. You might have to have a couple of them. You know, I spend a lot of time on a ferry, for instance, and I always try to make sure that I've got a mini gratitude journal there. So if I haven't carried the one that I use at home with me, that I've got one in the car that's between 20 and 40 minutes when I've got time to sit and write and reflect. And so think of what that might be for you, whether that's a commuting time when you don't have to have your hands on the wheel of something, or whatever that is in your life. You're trying to establish the habit of that. And once you establish the habit of that, you'll be hooked. And keep in mind that if you do it for more than 21 days and establish the habit, and then you stop for 5, that's not the end of the world. Just start again. The point is to just keep going back to it and going back to it and going back to it, because it is a practice that is just astoundingly amazing. It actually creates a vortex that brings more good things into your life, and it also just sets you up so that as you go about your day, you're actually looking for things, Where's that stranger who made eye contact with you and smiled just because? Who let you into the traffic when they didn't need to? What are the simple joys that you had that day? What sunrise did you see? Which particular color affected you? All these kinds of things. Big and small are things to put in there. And if you do it long enough, you start filling up pages with it. You won't need to count out your 5. You'll find that there's just many, many things. And in fact, you often get to the point where you are walking as full-time gratitude, because you're just grateful for everything. So gratitude is number 1. Number 2 is natural foods and products, and I'm going to tell you why. And you've heard this one before too. Thoughts and that are filtered through emotions create feelings. Those feelings affect your physiology. They actually affect you physically in terms of hormones that you create, enzymes that are secreted, and so on. When you eat natural foods and are exposed to natural products, then you don't have to worry about contaminating your own physiology with all this other stuff, be it artificial coloring, food additives, preservatives, and so on, that just go in and kind of mess up your physiology already. So the more you can eat natural foods, the more you can shop around the outside edge of your grocery store and try to stay away from things in boxes or tins as much as you can. I mean, it obviously that depends on your life and what you can manage and what you can't. But if you hold that as, sort of the idea of what you're going to try to do, you're going to try to shop around the edge and buy fresh things, and not too many things that are highly processed. All of that helps to keep your physiology cleaner. It's the same with products. If you get up in the morning and you get in the shower and you wash your hair, you put on conditioner, you use a shower gel, you get out, you put on a lotion or a powder, maybe you put something on your teeth, you maybe wear makeup. If you're using kind of traditional products, you can be already exposed to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things that aren't necessarily kind of natural products. And so it's the same with the cleaners that you use and so on. So on the internet and in books, you can find a million recipes for things. I found a recipe for a great deodorant that works and that's made of just natural products. I'd highly encourage you to do that in order to try to make it as simple for your body to stay in balance as possible without all of these additional chemicals floating around in there. Number 3 is music. Music is incredibly powerful, and I'm sure you know that already. The whole universe is created through light and sound, and music is incredibly powerful as a thing that can alter your mood. Also, when you hum or sing along or dance to it, that really affects you also. When you sing, you're actually creating those sounds, the sounds that created the universe. You're using those things to clear your chakras, your energetic centers. Singing is a really powerful, powerful thing. So again, with music, if you get up in the morning and you want to listen to something that you really love, rather than maybe plugging into the news, make sure that that music is there and easy for you to get to, and that the remote control that you use to turn on the television isn't. Or get into a practice of using your computer in a way that accesses something uplifting for you as you begin your day. Number 4 is concentrate on solutions rather than the problems. And that may sound easier than it is. But here's what I mean by that. When you have a problem, whether it's a personal problem or a problem in the world, You have to feel that. If you're sad about something, if you're angry about something, you just need to feel that and really feel it all the way through. If you allow yourself to really feel things, usually on the other side of that pain, that hurt, that anger, that sorrow, on the other side of that, there's usually an answer of some kind or other. When you stifle those things, often they go underground and create problems. So I'm not suggesting that you not feel those things and that you not have those reactions. However, if you've really felt it and you feel like you're through to the other side of it, I think it can be helpful to try to go to a solution. And I want to give you an example. On social media in particular, often we'll see people putting up atrocities, things that happen to animals, things that have happened to the world, things that are terrible, and so on. But when you're exposed to those things, just those things, they make you feel bad. They make you feel worse. So what I'd like to suggest to you is that if you have issues of things that you care about and of things that you feel something needs to be done about, by all means bring them to the attention of people. But as far as possible, try to make it about what the solution is. So if you're going to put up or share something that is a problem, I would also like you to try to accompany it with a very big suggestion about what it is that can be done about that. And if you don't know what can be done about that, then ask other people to suggest what they think can be done about that. And I think those are very important things as a way of concentrating on the positive side of things. So we could do a whole session on just this, but we'll leave it at that for the moment. The fifth thing that I'd like to talk about for today is change how you move. There is all kinds of research that's showing that when you change how you move, you change how you are. And that can be everything from as simple to whichever hand is dominant for you, try using the other hand some of the time. This helps you to switch tracks because we have a tendency to have grooves of familiarity that are built into our brain and into our emotional responses to things. And those grooves, especially since if we've gone down them a lot of times, are well worn. We need practice about getting out of the well-worn grooves, particularly when those grooves don't serve us. And so whenever you move differently, it actually does different things to different sides of your brain. And that can assist you with moving forward to changing tracks of things as well. And if you go on the internet, you'll see that there's all kinds of research that's been done into how different things can affect your physiology. We all know the benefits of walking, even if it's 10 minutes or 15 minutes a day. Walking will really help you. But there's been some very interesting research about this motion, this notion of holding your hands above your head. This motion in a V celebration, the research is showing that even people who are born blind, when they accomplish something, will recreate this gesture, even though they've never seen it. So there's something about this gesture that's built into us genetically, this V for victory in the air, fist pumping up here. And in fact, it's been shown that that gesture both increases testosterone in everyone and decreases cortisol, these hormonal differences. What those changes do is that they allow you to be bolder in some way, more assertive in some way. And so if there are occasions in your life where you need that for whatever reason, this is something that you can do that actually changes your physiology and allows you to operate slightly differently. So those are the first 5, and we'll do more as we go along. Give them a try and really give them a try and see how they work for you.